Hi, and thanks for joining me. I'm Don Day. I will tell you this, the title of the information I want to share with you is just called More. And more is just kind of open-ended word, but look, let's get right to the point. The reason I'm sharing this information with you is so that you personally have additional tools in the toolbox so you can do more deals. And if you know and learn how to do more deals, more transactions, that means you're going to gain more experience. And the more you do, the more experience you gain. Now, the more experience you gain, the more expertise that you gain. The more expertise that you gain, the greater the expertise means that you'll be making better deals. And if you're making better deals, then you're going to be making better profits. And if you're making better profits, that means that you're going to increase your time. It will be decreased, The better profits means you're going to decrease your time in order to make better deals, to add more assets, which means it'll give you more income, which at the end of the day, that means you've acquired a better lifestyle in less time. So that means you just got to do more. You just got to do more. You learn how to get better prices, you know how to negotiate better terms, you're going to learn how to get better financing, you're going to learn how to say, hey, listen, I see the money in that opportunity before I even wrote it. This is where expertise comes from. And if you've bought one house or two houses or 20 houses, guess what? That's great. And you're on the road to that success. But listen, if you've bought hundreds of houses, it takes on a whole different outline and a whole different expertise of what to do. It's like magic. Because you learn these secrets, and these secrets, they're shared with everyone. They're public, they're open, they're not hidden, you just haven't discovered them yet. And that's what makes it really nice on why I want to tell you certain things. You know, I was talking to one guy and he says, listen, he goes, I've bought about 200 houses in the course of a year. Now that's a guy, that's a player, that's a significant house buying investor. Not a lot of those guys out there. He says, I bought about 200 houses. How do I make better profits? And I says, I don't know. How have you been buying them? He goes, I just been writing a check because I borrowed the funds. I went, wow, you are fortunate. Because, you know, to have somebody loan you money to go out and be able to borrow against it to buy 200 houses, wow, that's pretty powerful. I mean, I want to know about you. Because I have to tell you, I mean, there's a lot of people who say, I'd love to do what you do, but I just don't have the money. I don't have the financial backing. I don't have the resources. You know, and I'm like, neither do I. But you don't need to. What you need to have is guts, because guts lead to glory. But for sure, that means that you have to do more. And here's what I mean by more. I was walking down the street, and I'm knocking on some doors, and I'm talking to a guy, and he goes, have you written any offers today? And I said, no, I haven't written any offers today. Now, I fully expected to, but at that moment, I hadn't. So guess what? I knew right then and there to make a mental note that I needed to do more in the writing of offers because I should have been able to say, yes, I have, and I want to write you one too. And I didn't do that. And that was a mistake on my part. And when the guy says, well, where are those offers you're so crazy about you've been writing? And I said, well, they're on their way out. Well, here's what happened. I went home, I told my wife, I said, look, the guy asked me if I'd written any offers yet. And I said, no. You know what his answer to me was? I got to share it with you. He says, well, how do you expect to buy any property if you don't write any offers? And I was like, well, that's true. People don't sell you anything unless there's action to be followed up behind it. And I said, well, that's true. And so I went home. I normally do 10 offers a day, just so you know. We average 10 offers per day. I said, you know what, honey? Honey being my honey. I said, we need to really step this up. Let's really put a show on. And what I mean by that is, yeah, we're used to working long hours. Let's work even longer hours. But let's not make it so much work as make it fun. So we devised a method to where we have a personal contact, real life personal contact with people. And I've discovered by getting very basic information that leads us to believe there is a strong opportunity for us to buy property from that person, that at the very least, if I'm going to take that much time, I might as well write an offer. And so we kind of went, yeah, why not? Well, I got to tell you something. I got 400 offers out right now. And today, 400 offers are awaiting a response. You're going, how is that possible? You must be a machine. No, we're not a machine. But we have very physical processes in order that cause this action to take place. We know where to look for the property. We know how to find information on it. We know how to do the comparables on it quickly. We know how to physically look at it. And I don't mean by Google, internet, or computers or anything like that. I'm talking physically see it. Because, you know, a computer's great and it'll give you basic information, but until you see that house, you don't know if you want it or not. But we're able to get 400, more than 4, but we got 400 offers out right now. Now the response on that is typically I get 3 or 4 at a time that'll call me per about 50 offers that I put out. Well, I got to tell you, that means we're going to get 15 or 20 different offers that are come in that we're going to end up accepting. And by the way, we put 400 offers out in 1 week. This is phenomenal business. This is really pushing hard. I don't expect you to do that. All I'm doing is training the numbers to work for me so that they manifest the results of profits that we need, and we're able to help those people get to the next leg that they want to be in. So when I say more, that means write more offers, talk to more people, make more phone calls, shake more hands, hand out more flyers, give out more business cards. Be conscious all the time of the business that you're in. And the business that you're in is buying houses, renovating them, fix and flip, which means resell them quickly, or hold them for like 3, 4, 5 years or longer. That's whatever your destination is. That's what I teach anyway. And you'll find out that the more you do, the more you get. The numbers grow exponentially. 1 and 1 doesn't equal 2. 1 and 1 equals 3. 3 and 3 doesn't equal 9. It might equal 12 or 15. That's the way the rules of exponential growth go in the effort that you put out. So if you're going to use that energy anyway, you might as well get it where it'll come back to you in a profitable way. And that profitable way is write an offer. If you don't write an offer, you will not get an answer. You will not get a positive result, and you will not be able to buy a house. So, or anything. You can't buy anything if you don't actually say, this is what I do, this is how I do it, and please come to me. So I went back to that guy a couple of days later, and I knocked on the door, and he answered the door, and I said, do you remember when you told me that I write an offer that day? And he goes, yeah. I handed him an offer on his house. I said, let's sit down and talk about buying yours. And he said, mine's not for sale. I'll never sell my house. I said, oh, okay, well, I understand that. So I've always discovered that whoever owns something, eventually someday it'll pass to someone else, and they will no longer own it. Either by inheritance, by selling it, trading it, exchanging it, whatever you do. I said, so right now you're saying that you will never sell your house? And he said, yes. And I said, okay, well, when does never expire? He said, when I die. I said, oh, God forbid. And I said, when will that be? And he goes, well, what do you mean? I said, because that's when I'm stepping in and buying your property. And he goes, well, how are you going to do that? I said, I'm going to make a contract with you right now that I'll buy it when you pass. For a very fixed amount, fixed term, everything. Let's make that deal right now. You don't have to agree to sell it to me now, but you have to agree that when you pass, it becomes my opportunity. And he said, wow, I really like that. I never heard of that. And I said, hey, it solves a lot of problems for probate, kids fighting over your money or your assets, because that's really what the deal is. No one wants the house, they want the money. And he said, yeah, I like that. Come on in. That's another story. But I just wanted to share that with you right now, because I did go back just to tell him I wrote an offer. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm Don Day.